we've been a spectator to that.
Early here, 16th minute, it's already one apiece.
More of the focus has really been on Perez this year to do a majority of the scoring. He leads their team with 7. He actually scored the game-winning goal in a first-round U.S. Open Cup match against the Colorado Rush. If you've been keeping up with the U.S. Open Cup, I know Cincinnati kind of taking everyone by storm.
Well, how about that,
been getting,
by the way?
Yeah.
Heavy touch. Clancy's going to keep it. Trying to go forward to Sam Gleadle, but just not on the same page with Philip Pacheco.
But Perez has...
Pat Pacheco, excuse me.
Perez has some heroics of his own there from the U.S. Open Cup.
And of course, they're going to call that as Kareem Salem was tight this time. Salem, though, very aggressive center back. You've got to be. There's too much room here. Dangerous for a moment. As Solovarita had a chance, still possessed now by an FC Sol. Perez going to kick it to the outside.
That really would have been a dangerous ball there if Nino doesn't slide over. Flags up for that one.
Chested down and brought across, and yeah, offsides is going to be the call, no doubt. Partita got it behind the defense, but a little too much. Don't forget, you can catch all the highlights in Soccer Talk with the Soul, catching up with the Soul season on ProView Sports Network every week, live on Comcast Channel 26. We're live here tonight on My 50 TV. Adam Deal, Sebastian Noel having some fun. Early scoring in the 18th minute, one apiece. Sam Gleadle in the 10th minute, answered by Tate Smith in the 15th minute.
This is a Tucson team whose 2 frontline goalkeepers, Luis Barraza, has only yielded 2 goals. Their other starter has only yielded 1. So this is a team that have a plus 12 goal differential. Their 2 top line goalkeepers have only yielded 3 goals combined.
Clancy did so well to keep that to the outside, but Pat Pacheco this time was offsides. Nice piece of skill there, though, by Jack Clancy.
The Cowboy, Pat Pacheco. And Isabel interviewed Ron there, but she's been putting together some great player profile pieces, which you can read on the social media website for the Soul. And she's done a great job with those. And one of the more intriguing ones was about how Pat Pacheco kind of overcame his knee injuries to continue playing here in his home state. But she's done a fantastic job with all those player profiles.
Pacheco from Taos, local guy. In this league, we said we talk about it a little bit. PDL, it's really a great thing. I mean, it's a level into pro, but you don't lose your amateur card. So all these kids can play collegiate ball, and really this is a high level they can continue playing over the summer to stay fit before they go back to their college, or if they're just out of college, then it's the window into USL, which is the next step obviously now into pro, right? And you see that with Cincinnati. You talked about Cincinnati, who just won the US Cup and just beat the Chicago Fire, right? And what a wonderful story that is. And it's not long until we see Cincinnati in the MLS.
Cincinnati is slowly becoming Soccer Town USA. It's pretty phenomenal. It's also, you know, we've seen it on our roster with guys like Alex Touche, just out of high school, at academy. They play a season before they went off to college.
Watch out, Perez, a touch on the inside. Oh, Blue had to come out, and Blue does his job. What a fantastic save. There's just too much room inside that 18 for those forwards to play with, Sebastian. Watch it again as Baloo comes up huge here. Look at this room.
He had to come out, Adam, because really, like you said, the defense just not very organized back there. You give guys like Schmidt and Pinheiro up there and Perez that much room to operate, you're going to get burned. Baloo had to clean it up himself.
And Seb Gray, I'll tell you what, he's got to get on the inside of that. You got to get goal side. And instead, it was Baloo who came out to make the play, but a free kick here. And so a chance now as Ozzy Ramos steps right over it for FC Tucson.
When Ron Patel,
about 25 out here, this is a great opportunity to bend one in.
And Ron Patel has the stat always, but you know, it's a very high percentage of MLS players that started in the PDL, so the quality of the PDL is very good.
So Ramos will take a couple steps back. Left foot this one. Does he want to curl near post? He does, and he's over everything. Baloo, though, had it well covered, didn't he?
Yeah, no, nothing doing there. Jason was over. And Ozzy skies it over.
See it again, and you can tell he's trying to dip it near post. Blue wasn't fooled, though. Not enough pace. Didn't drop in time.
From that spot, I like far post there and hope for a runner to get there as opposed to the direct shot.
It's one in the air nicely by Herrera. Now a battle for it in the midfield. Partita able to get it forward. Look out. Salabarita, though, he was out raced, did a good job.
Yeah, Nino's been good back there today, Adam. He's had his handful today, but he's been up to the task.
You would have to say the chances have been fair, but in the last 10 minutes or so, FC Tucson starting to flex. Tough touch from Tate. You don't see that a lot. Perez to Pacheco on the outside. Seb Gray, give it away. But a 1-2. Domiciano did well to disrupt, and then here's some room now in front for Sam Gleadle. Does he want to go one-on-one? He can if he wants to. Gleadle's going to get the overlap. And look at this from Gordon Hall, straight across. Well, the thought was right. Had to be more on top of the 6, but still dangerous, dangerous.
Yeah, you saw Grayson DuPont kind of make that run. He had a goal last time they played here at UNM, but I think he may have been stuck between cross and shot there, Adam. Because that's usually, he produces a better effort from there.
It's the first time we've really seen Grayson DuPont get involved in the attack for the Soul so far, as we're here now just about to enter the 23rd minute. Beautiful pitch. We were talking with Jeremy Fishbein, head coach of the University of New Mexico, before the game. He says the field's not going to look better than this, fellas. This is as good as it gets.
Yeah, he said this is the time of the year where it always looks the best.
Kareem Salem, nice cutback. DuPont, he'll keep it. Domiciano.
Number of groups in attendance, and we want to give them a shout out and some recognition. So if we mention your group, be sure to make some noise. The group from Brian Colon for mayor. The group from Southwest Capital Bank, tonight's match sponsor.
Out at the edge of the box, and Baluk comes out, no problems.
It's a little heavy on that touch there from Schmidt, but it was a good idea. Tried to play the quick 1-2 ahead to Pinheiro.
Domiciano will back it out now to Salem. He wants someone to check to him. He'll keep it. I like that instead of just booting one forward. See if you can play it on the ground, then go forward, and that's exactly what they do. Here's Nino, and then Nino does go high, looking for Clancy. It was well head down by Kareem Batten. And then given right back. Look at this from Salem. A couple of nice touches, but too far in front for Pacheco, and now FC Tucson will hold on to it.
Salem's been quiet today, and he's usually, I don't know, he's the one that makes this team go, I think, sometimes in the midfield. And when he tends to start things, him and Nino together, if you hear their name called a lot, it's usually going to be a good day at the office for this Soul team.
Again, it was a 10th minute brilliant goal. You'll see it again. Sam Gleadle, fantastic in the 10th minute to make it 1-0. Is answered, though, moments later in the 15th minute by Tate Smith. So we're level at 1 apiece. Here in the 25th minute in the first half. Play 45-minute halves. DuPont can't get there. That's a tough touch by Herrera. You don't see that a lot from him.
No, we've had a couple of giveaways today by Herrera and Schmidt.
Well,
and those
Perez going to give that one away.
Uncharacteristic.
And now here's Perez on FC Tucson. And he can't keep it. It was behind Herrera. You see Herrera the outside back, but he'll push so high there, almost like a midfielder. It means you have to run the most. That's what that means, Sebastian.
And usually they're so well connected, especially up top with Salabarita and Pinheiro being teammates at Albany.
Ozzy Ramos had that dispossessed. It's a fantastic play by Perez. So there's some room in front. Here comes Pacheco on the left foot. Now to Gleadle. Gleadle, that's where he scored first. Pacheco, left-footed. And it was well covered by Barraza, wasn't it? A deflection maybe concedes one.
It was a bad shot by Pacheco. If you take a look on replay here, it dipped right in time before the keeper. Sometimes you never know. That takes an awkward bounce when you get it to dip in front of the keeper.
Perez on a 1-2. Nino, no problems with that one. Clancy does well to keep it. Pacheco, he'll win the throw into the far side.
For the Sol.
Coach Gordon has to be pretty happy with just this game's possession versus the last matchup in Tucson.
Well, it's looked better than the last 2 times, hasn't it?
I mean, there's going to be some things defensively, I think, that he wants to clean up at halftime. They've looked a little disorganized at times, especially in the box. But definitely some things that already look better than when the team was in Tucson.
All the way back. And another throw in on the outside for the Sol.
You heard they gave a shout out to the Sandinistas. You know, that the birth of this team can trace all the way back with them. I mean, there was times when it was the Sandinistas and maybe a couple of fans, and it's really grown to just such a great product that Ron and Larry have put on the field. But the Sandinistas have been there from day one. They usually make the road trips. If not, they're at Star Brothers watching the stream. Usually they're at St. Pius, blinding the opposing goalkeeper with their flares. No such luck today, I think. But
well, this is going to be called. There's our first card. A yellow card's going to come out as a late challenge. Not to the officials' liking, was it? I'm surprised. Maybe they don't let that play on. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't play advantage there.
Some advantage going forward. Alfonso Pinheiro was diving on the outside of the 18.
Yellow card, fans, otherwise called a caution. When your electricity bill starts to caution you, you need to consider switching to solar. Turn to SunPower by Positive Energy.
You mentioned Matt Gordon's got to be happy. I think the Sol have settled into this game faster than they've settled into really any game against FC Tucson. And though they do concede that, I think he wants that one back, right?
That's kind of the point we made earlier with that scoring first today.
Look at this,
really
headed down by
things.
Tate Smith right in front. That's dangerous. Soloparita had a really good look. Partita. Too much room, left foot. Baloo had to punch it over, could do nothing else. It was dipping at the last moment in a corner, the first one of the game.
Yeah, Adam, I think you made a really great point. They really haven't been able to settle into any of these matchups against Tucson because Tucson has blitzed them right out of the gate.
Make sure you try the official beer of the Sol,
Yeah, immediately.
Electric Sun.
Perez is real dangerous here on these corners.
So Perez whips one in and it dives forward. Nino will get rid of it for a throw-in. Said, get that out of here.
You saw, if you were looking at the box where I was, Adam, I don't know if we can take a look at it, but the way Schmidt just absolutely shedded Dominiziano to get free. Tate is so physical in there. If that header's on line to him, he slots it home because he had no problem shedding Yuri.
Well, we told you Domiciano was going to have his hands full with Tate Smith. Here's some room. Partita out forward. Baloo's going to come off his box and make sure of it.
Fans, one more friendly reminder. Official 2017 Sol scarves are...
Well, what a piece as we enter the 30th minute. Pacheco's got to be quick. Bad pass by Pacheco, and it's dangerous. Out in front, the tip. Just got a toe on it and not directed well. I mean, that's a clear opportunity. Let's watch it again.
It's just not a team you can give the ball away at the midfield against.
I bet Alfonso Pinheiro wants that one back. That's a gimme.
Yeah, he usually finishes those, the Brazilian.
Deep, and it's won by Herrera. Good job by Adrian Mora to bring it down and keep it. Dylan Nino, does he want to go high? No, back to Mora. Mora lost it, controls it.
This is where you just can't give it away, Adam. We mentioned, you know, with Schmidt and Herrera, they're just so quick into their attacking half when they gain possession of the midfield.
Seb Gray on the outside.
Sol fans, I can't hear you. Let's make some noise.
Pacheco tries to keep it through the middle. Another giveaway. And it's been sloppy here in the last 10 minutes or so on both sides. Threading the needle. Perez takes a touch and it's tipped away. Ooh, is this going to be called?
Oh, wow.
Yes, it is.
I thought he got to the ball myself, did Salem. I thought that was a goal-saving tackle by Kareem.
Well, Kareem Salem's going to see the yellow for it, and there's a free kick in an advantageous spot now for FC Tucson.
Then the referee was about as far away from the play as we are up here.
Let's watch it again.
Let's take a look on replay here.
That's a good play. It's a good tackle.
Yeah,
he wins the ball
tackle.
First. And
again, referee was on the other side of midfield there, Adam. So that's a tough call on the other side of midfield, running in full motion. And he thought he saw something else, but that was a clean tackle on replay.
Maybe you would want to use your linesman for that one, because Kareem Salem, he gets ball clearly. And you know who's going to take this on the left foot. It's going to be Tate Smith.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Schmidt's over this one.
Now, this is where you got to watch the inside post if you're Baloo. On the 32nd minute, real chance for FC Tucson. Smith stands over it. Oh, Baloo did so well with it. It was dipping at the right moment. A little bit more inside, and Smith celebrating a goal, but Baloo able to get his fingertips just in time to save one.
Yeah, Tate's so dangerous from that spot. That was close. They'll have at least earned a corner here. Jason's had some.
You see Baloo's save again. Fantastic. Yeah. Just as easily be 2-1 in this moment in the 33rd minute.
And you just don't deserve to get burned at that point, because Kareem made a goal-saving tackle that unfortunately he was penalized for. So you really would have hated to see one go in there.
We'll watch it again.
One more look here, Adam. Look at this.
It's gorgeous. FC Tucson, do they want to play short here? They're trying to play fast. I think there's some issues. And Tate Smith looks a little frustrated, and he said, you know what, I'm just going to send one in. Him and Perez were trying to get a quick start. Smith instead going to curl one into the left foot. That's dangerous. And again, Baloo comes out, and he's doing his job right now.
That was a beautiful ball, and he came out and met it with the punch.
Doing everything you need to do as a keeper.
Because I believe that was Herrera that was coming in there for the header.
Herrera obviously on the outside, so fantastic in the air, but it stays level, one apiece here in the 34th minute.
Gordon Hall, but he definitely made that clear run to try to get the header. It was a beautiful punch.
Original head there, won by Sebastian Pineda, a fantastic center back for FC Tucson. Here's some room. Solabarita outside. Herrera, he's got some room. Herrera wants to go one-on-one, tries to cut it. A fantastic piece of defense there. Domiciano.
Yeah, Yuri really saved that one. I mean, that was just a fantastic one-on-one defensive play. They've had some nice defensive plays today, Adam. Yuri's had a couple. Nino's had a nice couple of sliding tackles. And really that one that Salem got carded for was also a nice defensive stand.
Here's Smith. Turn around. Give go. Real chance again. Baloo comes up huge. How many saves has he got here?
Really, Schmidt should have an assist right there. That was a beautiful pass.
Here's the counter, and look out. Gleedle. We'll get to that replay in a minute. Gleedle, a little step over. Another one. Puts it across. It's dangerous. Diving in was Pacheco. Just missed him.
Maybe a little communication problem there between Pacheco and Clancy. Not sure who wanted to get on the end of that. But that was a good bit of buildup in the box there.
Well, really, it's the only time that the Sol have had any possession at all. Well, not really possession, just a counter on the other side. It's been all FC Tucson here of late.
But Schmidt's got to be upset with the fact that he doesn't have an assist there, because that was a beautiful little backheel pass he had on the attack just before the counter there. And I bet you he was counting that as an assist all the way. Another beautiful decision by Baloo came out. He's made some great decisions today, whether it's been, he came out on the one punch, he came out on the other clearance.
Well, Jason Baloo, he has been the player of the game so far for the Albuquerque Sol, besides Sam Glito's brilliance in the 10th minute.
And he's done a nice job on a couple of Tate Schmidt set pieces as well.
Look at this. Partita's going to go through on the outside, and this is dangerous. Sent across right on top of the 6, and Baloo again going to come out. Tate Schmidt was there otherwise, right on the PK spot. It was sent through perfectly.
When Kareem Salem got taken out there, he was appealing for a foul there as he thought he was pushed. I saw one hand kind of, he wasn't fully extended, but he definitely could have been called on the offensive player, shedding Salem.
Headed down to Clancy. Can he keep it to Pacheco? Yes. Pacheco backs it all the way now to Seb Gray. Seb Gray, the outside back, with a couple of touches on the right foot as Glito tries to go 1-2, maybe a miscommunication with Clancy. And quickly now, Ramos going to keep it the other way.
Nico Perez was calling for the ball there. He was in all kinds of open space in the center of the pitch. They couldn't get him the ball.
And out of bounds for a throw-in for the Sol on the far side of the 37th minute. Out of deal here. Sebastian Noel right aside. Live on My 50 TV, ABQ Sol. We mentioned it hasn't been the season that we're used to. In fact, they've been fantastic. The Sol 2-5-1. We also talked about FC Tucson winning, excuse me, FC Cincinnati winning the U.S. Open, the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open. And the Sol last year, they were in the U.S. Open in the first round because they had such a successful PDL season.
We did the game against Harpos FC there at Ben Rios Memorial. You and I did that together. And that was the U.S. Open is just such a, I don't know, that is so unique to soccer, that format tournament.
Well, and it's kind of copied from, you know, overseas, right? If you take the FA Cup in England and the English Premier League, the FA Cup, and basically, Germany, if you're unfamiliar, you know, any team really can win it. You don't have to be a professional team, PDL team, and even club teams, men's club teams that are very good and could enter in if they qualify through the correct tournaments.
The team that the Sol faced there, the Harpos FC. Harpos is the name of a watering hole there in Colorado, right? That's a pub league team, like you said. So some pub league team can eventually, if they make it all the way through, play an MLS opponent.
So here, a chance maybe for the Sol. Corner kick on the far side in the 39th minute. Nino's trying to cut in. That's brought in. It's shallow and it's dangerous. That's another corner.
Yeah, I thought it was going far post. Salem made that run nicely to the far post.
And look at this dip right on the corner of that 6. It's where you want it.
So we'll have it from the other side now.
Well, this, of course, Grayson DuPont could have taken it. Did it left-footed last time. He'll curl this one in right-footed in swing. DuPont. That's a good ball. That such a tough angle to flick on towards the goal at the corner of the 6 on the near side for Sam Glito. It would have been brilliant if he could have pulled it off.
That would have been really tough to redirect. Yeah, you mentioned from that angle there to not only redirect it, but then not lose any of the power off of it.
Pardilla back outside. And Sebastian Pineda, the outside back. FC Tucson does so well. Their inside backs, their center backs get so wide and push up their outside backs almost like midfielders like this. You see Herrera.
Well, when Herrera's given that much space on the flanks, Adam, that can't happen.
Good play by DuPont. Pulls it down to the left foot, keeps possession going high now for Glito. He's got tons of pace up front, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's dangerous there. If Hall heads that, Glito's off to the races.
It's a tough touch there by DuPont. Maybe a bit too fancy and out. Some room in front. Pardilla tried a 1-2 with Pinero. Pinero lost it. Smith got it, and then Smith's going to win himself a free kick. No, the official says
referee said right away, get up. He's maybe learning from some of his Brazilian teammates how to dive, I think, and it's a good effort by Schmidt there, but that was definitely a dive.
Hey, you got to try it on top of the 18 if you know you're going to lose it, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Poor ball by DuPont. Here's Smith. Smith's in trouble. He'll win a throw-in on the near side, though.
brewing for FC Tucson. Fans, halftime is just around the corner, and thus the end of half-price scarves. Make sure if you're looking
Pinheiro,
for a half-price
Smith.
2017 official ABQ
It's kept nicely. Perez
head over to the merch table.
right into Mora. Mora able to chest it down and bring it down. Perez going to try to 1-2 with Pacheco. Pat Pacheco keeps it on the outside. Good job by DuPont. That's a nice piece of skill. He goes forward. Clancy on the slide will win it. Brilliant.
That was a nice job by Jack to keep possession there.
Domiciano going to go all the way. Salem, Nino. A little bit of poise and patience here now by the Sol. Again, Salem. He could swing it to Dominicato if he wants.
It's a bit alarming how easily they were giving it away there towards the end of the first half.
Salem had tons of room, but gives it away, and this is dangerous. Look out, Pinheiro. Chested and brought down. And then a foul is going to be called. So I believe it was Seb Gray, a little bit aggressive with it. Salabarita went down. Salabarita went down a little easy though, didn't he?
Yeah, no, but it was. I mean, it was a good call. That was easy to spot right there in front of the referee, hands right in the back. They're just, you know, this is a Tucson team that's very comfortable passing it around, and they just look very organized.
This is going to be sent in. Smith chests it down. Oh man, it was close. If he could have kept it tighter to him,
I don't know
he would
how
have one on goal.
everyone became a spectator there, Adam. That was weird.
Headed clear. Domiciano. Getting 1-2. DuPont a little bit in front of him. Perez. Perez is going to go at it with pace. A little bit too easily. Tries to cut back and do too much as Pacheco's got it now. On the outside, does he want to go one-on-one? A little touch around, and Pacheco unable to keep it as Gleedle can't get to it, and now quickly the other way. Nice and easy. Gordon Hall again to the outside and pushing high is Kareem Batten. Batten, the other outside back, he's been getting high as well. Here is Batten. Maybe too much, but he'll keep it. 1v1.
If you're Coach Gordon here, you just want to get into the locker room at halftime. There's been just
This is sent across right on the 6 and very dangerous.
there's just been way too much activity on this third of the pitch.
Yep.
And really a lot of it is been started by turnovers at the midfield. And then we mentioned they're just so quick into their attack, Tucson.
Mind you, you can follow us on Twitter at ProView TV for all the latest coverage of your local sports. We've got it live here, ProView, broadcasting tonight in conjunction with My50 TV. Glad you could join us. Adam Deal here along with Sebastian Noel. It's stolen away. Smith. He's got so much skill. Smith's going to send one through. Look at this. Beautiful ball over the top. And there's too much room inside the box until Nino said, I had enough with that. Center back gets rid of it.
A couple of nice diagonal runs there. They couldn't find them at the end. But Pinheiro was making a run, as was Schmidt. Adam, this is the perfect game to be statewide because you have Aaron Herrera from the other team, the Las Cruces kid. You have a Taos kid out there. So you have a lot of statewide talent that's not just from the metro area
This
here.
is sent in, and Baloo comes through. Offsides, though, is going to be the call. I believe it was Pinheiro that was just in front. Let's watch it again. Yeah, it was. In the 45th minute, you would imagine not a lot of stoppage time will be added to this one, right?
2 minutes it was announced, so yeah,
Hey.
not much at all.
That's why you're here, Sebastian, to announce things like that. Gleedle, it'd be so hard to pull that one down. How do you like that so far with Gleedle high and Clancy underneath him?
Well, they haven't really been able to utilize it much at all because they haven't really gained possession in their attacking side of the field. I mean, you would think on paper that that's a nice setup they would have, but again, they haven't been able to showcase it at all.
This is switched all the way to Herrera, and he got a little away from him. He was going to chest it down, but the skip, the bounce, the pitch so wet because of the rain earlier, just in front of him, so obviously it's a handball.
Herrera, the under-20 U.S. soccer member. Lobo, of course. Las Cruces native, so he's used to this pinch. Coach Fishbein, we mentioned he was up here in the press box earlier. He's been to a lot of these games because a lot of his players are in the PDL right now.
Good touch by DuPont. What can he do with it? Official not so giving with the Sol. No call.
He checked with the AR. AR didn't see anything either.
Good play by Herrera to be able to keep it in some danger back there as Pineda brings it up forward. A lot of room to batten.
We had a matchup earlier in the year at St. Pius that featured the Sol and the Rapids, and Coach Fishbein had 11 Lobos in that game starting.
How about that?
With the two sides combined.
This is dangerous. Perez has some room. Perez trying to go through to Smith. Second effort. And it's booted away by Mora. So inside the 46th minute. One apiece. Halftime, we'll have some highlights. We'll also talk with Isabel Gonzalez, the third member of our broadcast crew here.
That's a throw-in for the Sol. All right, Sol fans, let's make some.
Here's a touch to Gleedle. He's got moments here, maybe the last moment, as it was deflected away from him. Good job by Hall, the center back, as Gleedle will deflect that out for a throw-in. And that'll do it for the first half. So 1-1. Albuquerque Sol get one with Sam Gleedle. The answer by Tate Smith in the 15th minute. We'll be back in just a moment here. Halftime. You're watching Albuquerque Sol live on My50 TV.
Summertime in New Mexico, it's a beautiful time of year. But when storms start building up, threatening your plans, we want you to be prepared. That's why we'll let you know early on what to expect with an accurate hour-by-hour forecast to plan your day. Get severe weather alerts sent straight to your phone app, online, and on air. Wherever you gather with family and friends this summer, tune in, tap open, and take us along. KRQE News 13, local weather reporting you can trust.
Legendary New Mexico, in partnership with TLC Plumbing and Utility.
Mid-century America was ripe with opportunity and discovery. As Americans moved west to find new opportunities and lives for themselves, one highway in particular became more than just an artery from the Midwest to the Pacific coast. It became a symbol of American independence and American style. It's called the Mother Road. More than 2,400 miles of pavement linking the Windy City to the Gold Coast of America. And while today Route 66 is primarily a corridor for the adventurous and nostalgic, its birth was based in practicality.
It all started in 1916 with the Federal Aid Roads Act that was introduced in order to take a series of cobbled together trails and make them all into one national highway that would run almost all the way across the country from the area around Los Angeles up to Chicago.
The highway entered the state near Glen Rio, then traveled west past Santa Rosa, where it shot north toward Las Vegas. From there, it headed through Santa Fe, then traveled back down toward Albuquerque and Los Lunas, a trek that gave New Mexico the largest stretch of the road in the United States.
And here was all this land just ripe for development in Albuquerque.
As Nob Hill historian Gary Eister says, the route was streamlined in the late 1930s to cut straight through Albuquerque, bringing with it an explosion of development.
And after that, it was possible to get through New Mexico less than 500 miles. It was actually 399 miles.
The highway's path through Albuquerque brought dozens of businesses to the city. In 1937, Daniel Murphy left his post as manager of the Hotel Franciscan to open the Elvado Motel, located west of the Franciscan on what would become Central Avenue. It was one of many enterprises ready to give travelers their kicks along the 66.
A lot of the original parts of the Mother Road that ran north and south became secondary arteries. For example, 4th Street and Isleta Boulevard continued to flourish to a certain extent because those roads were still heavily traveled.
Shops like Kurt's Camera Corral, theaters like the Chemo, and cinemas like the Lobo Theater found huge success along the Mother Road. And many of those travelers found new careers as America entered the nuclear age.
Because a lot of people traveling down Route 66 were traveling west to find new careers, new jobs, and taking them to a different life, where oftentimes, especially coming through New Mexico, it took them into a nuclear field, whether it was Sandia National Labs or something else.
Albuquerque is a very special place along the route. There's no other place along Route 66 that's like us.
Unfortunately, progress sometimes comes with casualties. The National Interstate Highway System was introduced in 1957, chiming the death knell for the storied 66.
Dwight Eisenhower had seen the Autobahns in Germany, and he had used the Autobahns.
Sam Glito with a beautiful goal in the 10th minute was answered by Tate Smith from FC Tucson. We'll show you those goals and highlights in just a minute, but let's send it down now to Isabel Gonzalez. Isabel, what do you got for us?
All right, guys, first half is over and done with. We are tied 1-1, but while the players take a break, I'm here with SunPower Marketing Director, Christopher Fortson. So, Christopher, what's the most important thing people should know about your company?
Well, we're locally owned and operated here in New Mexico, and so that was really important to us to partner with a company or an organization like the ABQ Sol that is making a lot of big moves in the community here. And being locally owned and operated, we have a commitment to our community here. So that was really important to us to partner with them, and it made a lot of sense.
So when you say it made a lot of sense, it's SunPower and ABQ Sol. Is that the main reason, or are you a big soccer fan?
I'm not afraid to admit that this is actually my first time coming to one of the matches, but they've won me over. This is fantastic. Seeing the community out here, supporting the Sol, and we've got a lot of our customers, a lot of our solar customers here tonight. It's part of what we do is we want to continue to to be involved in the community. So.
All right, and I know you're a little bit biased, obviously, but what do you expect to happen in the second half?
I expect the Sol to win. That's it's been very exciting. But yeah, the Sol are going to come back, and there's going to be a great second half.
Thank you so much, Christopher.
Thank you.
Right, back to you guys.
All right, good stuff, Isabel Gonzalez. Well, let's take a look now at the first half highlights. There was plenty of them, but a couple were so key. How about this? Beautiful touchdown. Glito on the outside of his foot sets up a curl on the inside. Back post, 1-0 in the 10th minute. And then this deflection that led to a goal. Tate Smith, he's too good. He's not going to miss from there. All tied up, and then very dangerous here as this one. Again, Smith, it goes off the post on the outside. A couple of more chances for FC Tucson. But, Sebastian, that goal by Sam Glito was beautiful.
Yeah, that's next level stuff for Sam Glito there. Heavy traffic in the box at him. The angle was very tough. Just got his foot around it, curled it in nicely. Took a look at the other side there. One thing you saw in both of those replays when Tucson was on offense is you saw a pretty unorganized defensive side. They're going to have to give Jason Ballou a little bit more help, I think, that back line today, because Jason's had to really. This could easily be another three-goal performance for Tucson.
No doubt.
Jason had a couple of nice decisions where he came out, one on the ground, one on a punch, punched a couple of set pieces, and again that upper V that just missed there that was early in the first half. So Ballou, he's going to want some help.
Well, we're level, one apiece. Also, again, a nice gesture by the Albuquerque Sol and President Ron Patel, General Manager Larry Espinosa, as they recognize Pat Grange, a fantastic hero who fallen too short, his life cut short by ALS. Sebastian in the 4th minute had a moment of silence, excuse me, as Mike Grange, parents Mike Grange and Michelle Grange, they've got to appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great tradition that Ron and the company have started. They do it for UNM. They do it here with Pat Grange. That minute of silence in the 4th minute. It's a really nice touch they've done every season.
All right. Well, we're going to send it once again back downstairs to Isabel Gonzalez.
Okay, we have another special guest. Gary, would you like to tell us who you are and why you're here?
Hi, I'm Gary Opedal. I'm the Director of Economic Development for the City of Albuquerque. And I'm here because everybody should be here on a night like this in Albuquerque supporting the Sol.
And what do you think of the crowd tonight? And you probably followed this show for a while. What have you seen different from the very first year?
Sure. Well, since Ron Patel had the very first dream of this, and we met for coffee, and he goes, "We need to have a soccer club here." I said, "We do. This will bring the community together. It's such a great community event." And I mean, this is, you can see by the crowd, we have dreams of getting a USL franchise here, and there's talk of a stadium downtown, which would be just fantastic. And I think it would really help bring our community together.
What does a stadium really do for a community? How does it invite people to go in there more?
Sure. Well, it gets people downtown. It gets people involved with what's going on in Albuquerque in general. And I mean, if you, the whole thing of having a place downtown and having the march to the game and the whole, everything that goes around that, we have been supporting our Lobo basketball program, our Isotopes, for many years. And this is just a really good thing that would be really great for the city, because the city supports soccer, you can see.
What would you like to see from the SO in the next few years?
I want the crowds to increase. I want them to win the PCL championship. And I would love for them to really just keep ramping it up and go toward that goal of a stadium and a USL franchise.
Thank you so much, Gary.
Take care.
Well, as always, we appreciate it. Good stuff again from Isabel Gonzalez. Listen, second half, it's coming right up. Keep it right here. Soul Soccer on My50 TV.
When everyone else has switched to national news,
we're keeping it local.
Join us for local news and weather.
Weekdays from 7 to 9 a.m. on Fox New Mexico.
The Santa Fe Trail laid the groundwork for travel and trade in New Mexico. But the once prosperous trail proved to be incredibly slow compared to a new form of transportation which was barreling through the nation's landscape, the railroad.
The railroad really opened New Mexico to the rest of the world.
It was 1878 when the railroad made its way into Raton Pass and in the borders of the New Mexico Territory. Slowly but surely, the introduction of the train to the land of enchantment would help launch us into statehood.
The railroad brought people, it brought opportunity, and it provided a way for New Mexico to become a part of the United States.
As the railroad made its way further into the state, courtesy of the paths established before by the Santa Fe Trail, towns not only saw a flood of goods coming their way, but many towns also began to grow and take shape.
At its height, the railroad, there were almost 3,000 miles of rail in New Mexico, and over the period of time, about 100 companies have run railroads in New Mexico, a lot of them logging or mining or other smaller short lines.
With the railroad boom in full swing in New Mexico, it not only brought a lot of prosperity with it, but a lot of famous spots around the state, including the Fred Harvey Hotels, one at the Alvarado train station in Albuquerque, and the other, the Hotel Castañeda here in Las Vegas.
The Santa Fe Trail had provided some commerce back and forth, but when you're doing ox carts and ox wagons and mule pulled wagons, it's slower, and there are things you can't move. You can't always move people. It takes a long time. With the railroad, all of a sudden, you could move almost anything. You could move it rapidly. You get things here. You move people back and forth. You move products back and forth. All of a sudden, New Mexico can be on the map.
One key New Mexico city almost missed out on the railroad boom, Santa Fe. Because the capital city was too high in elevation and off the path from Las Vegas to Albuquerque, it took a bond issue to lay tracks and lure the lucrative transportation into the city different.
It was very pivotal in the future of the city of Santa Fe, because what happened was when the train, when NSF came to Las Vegas, New Mexico, it became a boomtown. When it stopped in Albuquerque, Albuquerque became a boomtown. And Santa Fe was really left in the dust until it decided to pay for the spur line, which brought all this commerce and tourism up here.
As beneficial as the trains were to the state, time and progress brought in new forms of transportation like planes and automobiles, which continue to move people and goods at faster rates. But New Mexico may not be done with the railroad just yet, with many depending on commuter trains like the Rail Runner and Amtrak still carrying passengers into the state. Its usefulness continues on.
I think movement of freight by rail is going to be continue to be a big deal, And New Mexico has a lot of produce. They have agricultural products. They have manufactured goods that are going to continue to move by rail, and we're going to continue to be a strategic crossroads for the railroads as they cross the country.
David Romero, legendary New Mexico.
Thank you for joining us this evening. I encourage you to explore our great state for yourself. There are hundreds of stories just waiting to be discovered, and tonight we're just scratching the surface. So be sure to join us for our next adventure on legendary New Mexico.
Summer in New Mexico is a beautiful time of year, but we want you to be prepared. We'll let you know what to expect with an accurate hour-by-hour forecast. Get alerts sent straight to your phone app, online or on air. Wherever you gather with family and friends this summer, tune in, tap open, and take us along. KRQE News 13, local weather reporting you can trust. Summertime in New Mexico, it's a beautiful time of year. But when storms start building up, threatening your plans, we want you to be prepared. That's why we'll let you know early on what to expect with an accurate hour-by-hour forecast to plan your day. Get severe weather alerts sent straight to your phone app, online, and on air. Wherever you gather with family and friends this summer, tune in, tap open, and take us along. KRQE News 13, local weather reporting you can trust.
Legendary New Mexico, in partnership with TLC Plumbing and Utility.
Mid-century America was ripe with opportunity and discovery. As Americans moved west to find new opportunities and lives for themselves, one highway in particular became more than just an artery from the Midwest to the Pacific Coast. It became a symbol of American independence and American style.
It's called the Mother Road. More than 2,400 miles of pavement linking the Windy City to the Gold Coast of America. And while today Route 66 is primarily a corridor for the adventurous and nostalgic, its birth was based in practicality.
It all started in 1916 with the Federal Aid Roads Act that was introduced in order to take a series of cobbled together trails and make them all into one national highway that would run almost all the way across the country from the area around Los Angeles up to Chicago.
The highway
Back at it, second half just underway. Adam Deal, Sebastian Noel with you here live on My50 TV. Thanks for joining us. It's What a Piece. Albuquerque Sol in red, going left to right. And FC Tucson in white, black shorts. They're right to left. It'll be interesting. FC really coming at the Sol in the last, you would say, 20 minutes of that first half, Sebastian. It'll be interesting to see what the Sol do here. No changes yet.
I think that's what's going to be what determines this in the second half. If the Sol continue to give away the ball at the midfield like they have been at the end of that first half, then I think I've seen this movie before and I know how it ends. But if they can get a few runs, and Sam Cleedle has looked really good over the ball today, I think it's going to come in our favor.
Pinero's going to get it to the outside. Look out, Smith just sails it over. Was it deflected by Nino? It was. So Dylan Nino puts it out of bounds, and it's a corner kick immediately for FC Tucson as we just underway here in the second half, live from University of New Mexico soccer field. Gorgeous evening. It was raining. A little thunderstorm came through, delayed the game. Start time was supposed to be at right around 7:05. Instead, we got kickoff here at 7:30. This sent in. Nice ball. It's still loose. Dangerous. Ballou's going to have to come out. It was headed off the line and then sent over by Smith.
Yeah, I think Gary Openhall, the Director of Economic Development, he said it best with Isabel. You know, if you're not out here supporting this on such a beautiful Albuquerque night, you know, what more could you ask for? You got fireworks. This is a great product in the PDL. We highlighted that in the first half. 2 mayoral candidates are here today as well. And, you know, even Gary mentioned the next level, the USL, you know, so
Good play there by Ramos to keep possession. Partita goes to the outside. Sala Burrito with the little skills. Look at this. Burrito then had it dispossessed. Pacheco put his body in front of it nicely. Cleared out, but not far. Ramos goes up top. Somehow, another chance here for Perez, and Perez going to lose it. Smith's going to chase it, and he's one-on-one. Wants to keep it on the outside to Herrera. Herrera on a 1-2. Smith, does he want to send one in? Taken away in the midfield. Mora for a moment, and then Ramos again. He's got to switch to the near side if he wants it. Look how high those outside backs push for FC Tucson. You see Kareem Banton on the near side looking for it. He's not going to get it. Here's Perez, a cut. Perez, it's dangerous. Ballou's going to come out. There was some contact as diving inside was Partita. Partita was appealing for a penalty kick. He's not going to get it.
Yeah, no, referee was motioning for him to get up right away as Nino was first to that challenge.
This is dangerous as Galito says that's a handball. The official's going to raise his flag. What's this going to be? Indeed it is. It's going to be a handball. The goalkeeper, Luis Barraza, he was outside of the 18 when he touched it.
Yeah, he definitely was outside the 18.
He's got to get carded for this as well.
And here, the card is out.
So just going to face the yellow, Barraza, but a real opportunity now for the Sol. This is going to be right in front of the 18. It's going to be 20 out. You can't have a better opportunity, almost dead center. You can go inside, you can go outside. You do whatever you want with this if it's taken right.
We've seen Tate Schmidt just be a wizard over these set pieces for the other side. Let's see if Gleadle can deliver. I would have assumed Gleadle would take this. We'll see, though.
Well, let's see. Jack Clancy's standing there. Gleadle's there as well.
And the keeper, Barraza, just lost his head there momentarily. That was odd.
Well, if he doesn't, Gleadle might be stealing that one for a goal. So
that's true.
I don't blame Barraza for what he does. So who's it going to be? So it's going to be Jack Clancy's going to take this. Domiciano's there too, but I don't think this is going to be a left-footed take. Clancy, yes! Jack Clancy.
Hey, I said it earlier in the broadcast, Adam. He loves to play right here at UNM. All of Clancy's highlights have come here at the Homo de Lobos, and he's adding to the Clancy reel with that goal.
Well, we knew it was going to be dangerous. Let's watch it again. Jack Clancy, and you know, and he's so smart with it, tons of pace on it. Obviously, he goes outside post, but he skips it off the turf, and that wet turf bodes well for him. And it deceives Barraza. And so Barraza, regardless, going to concede, and it's 2-1. Albuquerque Sol on top, a 51st minute goal for Jack Clancy.
It sends our friend Lucas Cash into a social media frenzy to report that
well,
goal.
He's the jack of all trades tonight. Look at Ballou come up huge again and again. Another one. Fingertips again. Let's take a look at it. And this one, man, it was dipping in.
Just how much more can they get from Jason Ballou?
Look at our crew.
Another corner here.
Josh Luna, Josh Brown directing it on instant replay, doing a fantastic job as always. Here's the corner on the near side. It'll be whipped in, and that's dangerous, and it's headed off the line. A good job by Nino, but not clear from danger yet. Ramos going to try to bring one across. Here's Perez, low, skips it off the ground, tries to bend it far post, but Ballou right to him. And obviously, if he's saving those wild ones, he's not going to let that one go. As this one chipped from deep and maybe a little bit of danger. Goal kick.
Goal kick coming up for the Sol.
Yeah, Jason's been busy.
My apologies. That's a corner for FC Tucson.
A corner, was that deflected? I mean, I know Ballou didn't touch it on the goal line. We're talking about Lucas Cash, jack of all trades, here doing PA, and he's also doing social media for the Albuquerque Sol. So I mean, that's a lot. It's a lot more than you're doing. That's why he gets the big bucks.
That's true, yes. Well, Lucas is much more involved today than I am.
This is a dangerous ball again. Nino's done so well on those corner kicks or set pieces, hasn't he? And it's finally cleared away. I'll tell you what, if heads are up there, Jack Clancy can go to goal if he wants. That's how far Barraza's pushed up. Barraza will get it back to keep it for FC Tucson here in the 53rd minute. It's 2-1, Sol on top.
Malou's just been amazing today. The 2 wins prior to this. Clean sheet for Pavlet and then a clean sheet for Jason. 2 wins against Colorado. And Pavlet is on the sub sheet today. He actually came on in Tucson as a midfielder, or I beg your pardon, a defender.
How do you like that? And Sol a little bit down in numbers right now. They've had some injuries. They've had some kids have to go back home for the summer. It's been difficult for the last few weeks for them.
Yeah, actually Lucas and I were watching that game, and I said, hey, that's Pavlet coming on. And he said, no, you silly German, he's a goalkeeper. And I said, no, Lucas, that's Pavlet coming on. And he was. He came on and took his spot on the back line there.
You say silly German, but under 21 UEFA champs.
That's right.
The win against Spain, or excuse me, the win against England, Spain in the semis. And then how about
tomorrow?
Germany in the Confederates Cup final tomorrow against Chile. Nino's had a great game, hasn't he? Outside Barrett, the defensive center back, excuse me, I don't know what I'm saying here. Center back Nino, a little bit too much there. It's taken away. Smith to the outside. Ozzy Ramos forward on a 1-2. Ramos, can he keep it? Yes, he does. Batten got plenty of room from Pineda. What a ball. And then just mishandled, mistouched really from Alfonso Pinheiro.
I think Pinheiro was trying to back heel there, and he wanted to see if there was someone else making a run maybe up the center of the pitch around the penalty spot, but touch kind of eluded him there.
'55th minute. It's a Sol on top. Gorgeous free kick from Jack Clancy.
So I'll be wondering how many subs we'll see from Matt Gordon today. I mean, I would expect Diego Montes and Ramos.
Gleedle, he wants to go one-on-one, a little touch around too much. Was well defended at the last moment. Sebastian Pineda kind of stabbed in. He had to. We got our first substitution coming in. So Ozzy Ramos is going to step off, and we'll see who comes on.
Number 8 is out. Number 15 is in.
So checking in, Austin Polster.
Subbing in for FC Tucson, number 15, Austin Polster. Now, number 8, Ozzy Ramos.
So Polster will get his first moments in the 56th minute substitution. FC Tucson trailing at 2-1 here to the Sol. Thunderstorms on the outside of us right now. We'll keep our fingers crossed that they stay away.
So Ramos was starting to get loose a little bit even before halftime, so I'm surprised if Tommy came on here in the second half. Maybe a little Tommy gun for 4th of July.
Shot by 16.
Salabarito maybe a bit ambitious from there, wasn't he? As he'll sail it wide. And you mentioned the Tommy gun celebration. Ramos used a little Tommy gun once he had a goal here a couple of weeks ago, right on this field, on this pitch. What kind of celebration would you do? Something German, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I would probably go into the Miroslav Klose slide and then need medical attention.
It's a good thing we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Here's some room now for Pacheco. He can have one if he wants. Pacheco on the left foot. Did he get a deflection? No. Just mishit.
Gleedle got wiped out on that. He was talking to the referee about it, but I don't think it would be an understatement to say this will be the biggest 3 points of the season.
Undoubtedly.
This is a rivalry that, can you call it a rivalry when it's so one-sided? You know, this will be a big statement here at UNM today.
A win that the Sol have desired all year. They have struggled a bit this year. But very ambitious, Larry Espinosa. He was very positive. He said, you know what, we're not out of it. I asked him, I said, playoffs are done, right? And he said, no, don't be silly, Adam. We just have to win 4 of the next 5. I said, okay. Here's Clancy. Pacheco's going to try to go through to Gleedle. It's dispossessed nicely by Pineda. Can it be kept? Salabarita does well. Batten had it deflected by Pacheco. Pacheco, more than anything, has done well defensively as a mid, hasn't he?
Yeah, that's been the call for the day for him today. And it shows you the versatility of Pacheco's game, that he's been able to contribute in that way.
Moshi Perez had it deflected. It was a great job by Clancy. Nice piece of skill there. The two of them going at it in the midfield. And the official says play on. I think it was Partidilla. That's going to be cleared, but not enough. Perez, a touch at the 18. Ballou saves it, but the deflection onsides and the equalizer again. So Ballou does his job, Sebastian. I mean, he's not going to be able to bottle that one up, gives up the deflection, and it's finished. And so 2-2.
We mentioned, you know, how much longer would Ballou continue to be able to do this?
I believe it was Salabarita on the finish. Well, Perez, he had a gimme in front of it, or not a gimme, but a good look at the top of the 18. It was a good save again by Ballou, but that's an easy finish. That's 2 that have been right in front of the goal for FC Tucson, and again, they've knotted it up, this time at 2 apiece.
To get one more look at it when we get a chance.
59th minute goal, Sebastian.
But yeah, that was just, you know, too much space there, and Jason was not happy with his back line there.
Let's see how the Sol respond, and not so well. Look at this, a foul, and that's about a little over 30 out. You could have one on goal from here.
Let's take one more look at him at this here. Again, there's just too much. There's not enough bodies here defensively that are doing any work, and Ballou gets to the initial ball, couldn't stop the second effort. I don't know if that was.
I'll give Salabarita credit too, because he did so well. You saw the second look there, getting back on sides and then crashing the goal for the finish. And so it looked originally that maybe he was going to be outside. This is going to be sent in. That's dangerous. Tate was diving. It was deflected, and the Sol going to try to clear it. Pacheco's going to go down line. He's got Gleedle. Gleedle, does he want to go 1-on-1? It's going to be 1-on-2, but he might want to have at it. Some scissors may be coming. Gleedle, a cut. Gleedle, back on the left foot, no. He's going to send it right top of the 18. Clancy can't finish. Put back. And Peraza's there smart. Right on his near post to save it. Gleedle does so well, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's just in the open pitch like that. He's just so quick over the ball.
Man, Clancy's hit top of the 18 was deflected, and that had a chance for his second one. This switch to the far side. It's Herrera. Can he get on the end of it? Yes. Excuse me, that's Herrera.
And that second effort you saw there was DuPont. He switched jerseys from number 3 to 21, and Grayson had a nice second effort at it there. This one's starting to get chippy now. This is how these two teams usually play.
Well, some action on both sides now.
And Herrera is going to get carded there. I don't know if it was the throwing the ball that got him, or the official kind of pointed to a couple of spots, so maybe it was consistent infringement there. I'm not sure.
62nd minute. If you're just joining us here, I'm Adam Deal with Sebastian Noel, ProView Sports Network. We're live now on My 50 TV tonight for this Albuquerque Sol FC Tucson battle. It's a rivalry that's begun now, the 4th season of the Albuquerque Sol, and so much that have been built by Ron Patel and Larry Espinosa, and aspirations of going USL hopefully one day, aspirations of making this bigger, and each year it's grown, hasn't it?
Yeah, attendance numbers this year have been very good, especially at St. Pius. They've really improved at St. Pius. And of course, a couple more games here at UNM this year than last year.
I don't know what's taken so long here.
I'm not sure either. I don't know if there's going to be a sub made. I know the coach was on the field for FC Tucson. I don't know if he was unhappy with that flag that, or I beg your pardon, the card shown to Herrera. But there is a substitute next to the for the official over there. But
well, oddly enough, during a free kick, they're going to let him make that substitution.
Yeah, Kareem Banton's coming off here.
Okay, number 5 will be replaced by 22.
So checking in now as Gavino Carranza. So Carranza will make his first appearance. Carranza going to make his way to left back for Banton, Kareem Banton. Maybe night over with, we'll see. And in PDL, if you're subbed out, you can come back in. It's not like other rules in professional leagues where once you're out, you're out.
Still don't see it very often. On a yellow card and a goal kick, the other team makes the substitution.
Seb Gray going to try to send one in, and he apologizes. Nice and easy for Barraza to handle. Herrera to Barraza. Tucson FC, they've answered twice when the Sol have led. They led it 1-0. Tucson FC answered within 5 minutes, and again, an equalizing goal just moments ago. Look at this. Sam Gleedle, Pineda just a step in front of him, got his foot there to save another one.
If you look right now, Adam, I know you're following the ball, being the award-winning play-by-play broadcaster that you are, but you look away from the ball right now, and there are some cheap shots going on there. I mean,
that was a cheap shot.
Was it?
Right there.
No, but I mean, there is some contact right now, especially away from the ball. These two teams are playing like as they usually play. The first half was very clean, considering it's these two sides. But yeah, there's some cheap shots going on away from the ball right now.
DuPont's going to get it back on a 1-2 to the outside. Pacheco overlapping him is Gray. Pacheco's going to step towards the 18. Control DuPont just in front of him. And he'll win it back and give it away. Grayson DuPont. And here's some room for FC Tucson if they want to switch it, and they do. Partita. Outside, here's Herrera. Sends it across. Herrera, it's deflected. Out of bounds for a corner kick. Let's send it downstairs to Isabel Gonzalez. Isabel. Well, excuse me, we're having some technical difficulties with Isabel's mic. We'll try to get it fixed here momentarily, but back up to the booth here out of Diel Sebastian Noel. In the 66th minute, corner shallow, and it's cleared away. Sam Gleedle chasing. Gleedle just runs all day, doesn't he? Makes you tired just watching him. This sent over. It was the first real touch for Carranza.
Him and DuPont, yeah, they log a lot of miles, especially here when they play at UNM, a little bit bigger pitch than at Ben Rios Memorial.
Number 17 is about to come in for Albuquerque.
Well, do the Sol have another one in them? They're going to need it.
17 in for 14.
Diego Montez is going to check in for Nico Perez.
Perez really never could get involved today. He called for the ball a few times in the first half as he was kind of open in some space in the midfield at him. They really couldn't get it to him. They really couldn't build through Nico today.
Right now we'll go down to Isabel Gonzalez. Nope, we won't. A couple of issues downstairs. We'll get it fixed. First real touch right there for Montez, and he gave it away. Trying to thread the needle, go through. Oh, Salem, he comes up big, doesn't he? Because if that goes through, on goal was Partita. Pacheco to the outside, Gleedle.
Moya's making that diagonal run.
Gleedle was trying to put it on the PK spot and just mishit it. Through, and this is dangerous. And Ballou had to come off his line. Again, it was a must, wasn't it? Because Pinheiro was in behind this time, the Brazilian.
Yeah, right now, he's my man of the match if I had to pick.
All right, now we'll throw it down to Isabel Gonzalez. Isabel.
Nino now. Him and Salem, usually they get these guys into
This is onside. This is dangerous. And on the outside, Sam Gleadle couldn't hit. We'll hold off on Isabel Gonzalez downstairs, and we'll try to figure it out here in just a moment. I don't think you're going to get a better look if you're Sam Gleadle. Sebastian, he just missed it.
Yeah, no, I think he was a little surprised there that maybe the flag stayed down, and that's going to be the last action for Sam. I believe that's Ramos over there ready to come on for Sam. Let's take one more look here, Adam.
Take a look at it. Just misses it wide. So here comes Tommy Ramos going to check in. Ramos scored the last time he was on this pitch. Isabel Gonzalez, what do you got for us?
Okay, Larry, so last game you guys took a pretty hard loss, 3-1 in Tucson, but today the game looks a little bit more even. What are you seeing different from these Sol players?
Well, a lot of it has to do with naturally the more times you play someone, you start to figure out their strengths and weaknesses. Coaches came in and made some adjustments, and we're be able to take advantage of some situations and get a lot more attacks towards the goal. So the coaching staff has done a really good job.
What do you think is going to take to get that winning goal right now? Because things are obviously pretty even.
Well, we just made a couple of substitutions and some fresh legs up top, and I have a feeling we're going to get that third one and call it a night.
Okay, thank you.
Stick.
Yes.
Larry Espinosa.
Good job hanging in there, Isabel Gonzalez. The crew, Jude Apodaca down there, cameraman, and also working on the mic diligently to make sure we can get that for you. Larry Espinosa, the general manager of the Albuquerque Sol, and he is sure-handed that Tommy Ramos, those fresh legs, going to make the difference, or maybe even who just stepped in, Diego Montes, the two substitutions by Matt Gordon, head coach of this Sol team. Out in front, and you know what? That was fantastic. Domiciano does so good pulling that in. If he doesn't, it's dangerous on the outside. Maybe Herrera is able to get loose. Carranza goes to the midfield to Perez. Perez will switch it all the way to the outside, and there's some room. Look out to the touchline, maybe too far in front, and indeed it was.
Even on that look there, Adam, Perez was just so much space there in the center, and you can't give him that much space there.
Our goal for tonight was to set a new attendance record. And guess what, fans? We set a new attendance record. 2,282.
Here's some room outside, and no call. Going to be as diving inside, I believe, was that Grayson DuPont, who was tripped up. He was appealing for the foul. Hey, just announced by Lucas Cash here on the PA, a new attendance record for the Albuquerque Sol, Sebastian. That is 2,282. And you really can't see most of them, obviously, because they're on the near side here. But here's a chance for Perez. Goes to the outside. FC Tucson pushing right to left here. Mishandled in the midfield is Smith. Just lost control, and there's a foul. Almost maybe a card.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that maybe that it wasn't there, but
Austin Polster, and maybe a little bit of frustration because it got away from him, just reaches in, and there you see some of that crowd.
One more sub coming on here for Tucson. It's Gordon Hall, and a nice shift back there on the back line.
It's a good job by our camera crew.
Caleb Scott will take Gordon Hall's spot in there.
In for Tucson, number 23, Colin Scott. Subbing out, number 3, Gordon Hall.
So Colin Scott now the center back with Pineda. Look at this, so much room for Pinheiro. Pinheiro to the outside. Polster on the left foot, fakes it. Not fooled at all. was Salem. A 1-2. Baloo has to come out. This is dangerous. A touch around, a cutback. Still going in way too many touches, and the Sol going to dodge a bullet there, Sebastian. And look at this, the counter the other way quickly. Tommy Ramos, he's offside.
That was Dylan Nino there with the step in there. Nino's been very good today defensively. Look at this replay. Dylan was the last-ditch effort there, stepped in as Baloo was scrambling back to his line.
And I'll tell you what, I don't know how Partita doesn't pull the trigger there with Baloo not in position.
But Baloo, I mean, he made the right decision, Adam, to come out.
So Kaleem Scott, his first touches of the game, the center back for the Sol, excuse me, for FC Tucson.
I mean, for me, Baloo's my man of the match, unless someone can finish with a brace here. But Jason's just been fantastic, and he's seen a lot of action.
Seb Gray will deflect that out of bounds on the near side for a throw-in in the 73rd minute. Albuquerque Sol 2. FC Tucson 2. We're all tied up. Who's going to break through? Look at this. There's a ton of room out in front, and it was just mishit by Scott. He was looking for Tate. Partita going to set it back post. It's over everyone's head. Everyone's chasing. And it's a throw in on the near side.
And it just doesn't look like that back line is connected at times, Adam. There's just huge gaps for these Tucson players to make runs into.
Curious if you see any more Sam Gleadle, or is his day done? Ramos does so well to hold that up on the right foot. Will back it out now to Pacheco. Pacheco cuts it back and had it poked away. Salabarita, he had it dispossessed. Good job again. I told you defensively, Pacheco's been on point today. There's a touch. Can he keep it? No. Polster was there to take it away, and look out. Here comes Tate Smith. A little dish. Perez had it deflected. The shot at the top of the 18. FC Tucson pushing here as we get to the final third of this one, and deflected out of bounds for a throw-in.
See if the Sol can really answer some of the physicality you're seeing right now from Tucson. Even that ball there that Cowboy Pacheco lost. You saw the
You're into the Cowboy Pacheco, huh?
Yeah. You saw the defender. He had a handful of Pacheco's jersey there. So, you know, this is a good test for the Sol. Can they be as physical, and can they answer?
Well, it is getting physical. Polster, a little trip up on Ramos. He stays on his feet, though. That's Polster's second time. He's got to be cautioned for that. I understand it's physical, but he's got to be stopped. This a through ball. Domiciano does so good. It's backed out. A reset now to Herrera. What does he want to do? Herrera from Las Cruces. Poised on it. This going to be sent in. 6-yard box.
Again, Nino
dangerous.
Headed it out.
Here's Carranza on the left foot. Baloo. Just know that he'll be there, Sebastian.
From Baloo.
Let's watch it again. It was a really good hit by the outside back, Carranza. I think it misses the goal, but Baloo has it covered regardless. Scott just deflects it, tries to bring it down, but mistouched. It's a throw in here on the near side. Sol, they haven't really been able to push forward. If you remember, Sam Gleadle really had the opportunity, didn't he, to put the Sol back in front, and he missed right on top of the 18 as Carranza was stone cold on his line, and he just missed it wide.
I don't know if he thought he was offside or if the flag was coming up, but yeah, he missed point blank. Salabarita will come off here. Baruman, saw him last year for this side as well.
Esteban Baruman, he'll step in that midfield, almost like a holding forward, offensive midfield, if you will. This deflected. Gray will let it go out for a throw-in. Well, in this moment, Sebastian, it could be a substitute that's the difference.
Yeah, Larry Espinosa thought it might be the fresh legs of Ramos.
Pacheco, could he send one in? That's got to probably go in the air. And too many bodies in there to send it low, but still controlled. And again, Pacheco going to go to the outside. Here's Seb Gray. Gray didn't get all of it. He thought someone might have been crashing near post. Nobody was. Tommy Ramos swatted one in the air. Nino comes screaming through. The center back's been fantastic.
Yeah, Dylan has had a couple of games where he's absolutely stood out. I know he's usually a Sandianista favorite as well. They crowned him the man of the match during one of our broadcasts earlier in the season.
This is an accidental back flick, and it's in a dangerous spot. Tate Smith's going to get it to the outside. And well defended. Demiciano again. He's had a good half, hasn't he?
On my broadcasts, Adam, I like to encourage fan participation, so we asked fans to tweet their man of the match at ProView TV, and the Sandianistas absolutely selected Nino in that particular broadcast, as he did.
So is that what you're telling people to go to at ProView TV?
Why not, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Statewide today, we might get a few more choices.
Okay.
Or voices for man of the match at ProView TV.
Tweet us. Here's Ramos. He's all by himself. I'll tell you, if someone looks up at goal, Peraza is so far off his line, it's unbelievable.
And a couple of times he's been off his line. He's been ripe for a chipping.
Throw into the far side for FC Tucson. 79th minute here. Sol 2. FC Tucson 2. Remember, it was Sam Gleadle that struck gold at the 10th minute. Beautiful curler on the inside foot to make it 1-0. 5 minutes later, though, Tate Smith, a tap-in, equalized it in the 15th minute. And then Jack Clancy, beautiful free kick on the right foot, about 20 out in the 51st minute to take it 2-1. And then again, it was equalized. Nico Salabarita, literally just a deflection as Blue had a save from Perez on the top of the box, and those you can't miss. He was inside the 6. Blue was on the ground, and we're tied up at 2. That's where we're at.
And you just have that feeling that, you know, this defense, they're going to need to give Jason Ballou some help there, because really offensively, Tucson is possession-wise and attacking and pushing. They've tested Jason frequently today.
I'd like to thank our friends over at Power Forward, proud supporters of the Albuquerque Sol. Is somebody going to break through in the last 10 minutes here? Plus some. Sol have looked more defensive than anything this half. Just that really one opportunity the goal from Jack Clancy and then Sam Gleadle's miss. That's really it.
I wouldn't at all be surprised if the Sol tried to play out for a tie here as opposed to Tucson. I think they're going to go for the 3 points for sure. I don't know how you feel about it, but.
Well, they are. We mentioned that the Sol, they're in a win mode. A tie, a draw here would mean they've got to get some wins in the next 4 games. They'll be back home at St. Pius High School. We'll have the broadcast for you on ProView Sports Network, Comcast 26 on July 13th and also the 15th. Uh-oh, this is trouble. Partida low. Ballou again is true.
It's first of 2 against FC Boulder that Saturday against Boulder. So if you haven't come out yet, we thank you for watching, but do come out. I mean, because this is a great product. And that next home game on the 13th. Hopefully we set another attendance record that day.
Scott will clear it. It's one to the midfield. I believe it was Adrian Moore on the head. It was. Look at Herrera. He's got all day. Herrera steps inside. Watch out. Maybe a bit too much as Pacheco finally does win it. Can he keep it? Yes. Good job by Pacheco. DuPont.
So no announcement?
And it's pulled back. There's just not enough in the attacking third for the Sol, is there?
Okay, but only if we see the fireworks.
Tried to get it back to DuPont, and it was stolen away. Pollister, high forward. Esteban Berumen gives chase, but nothing doing. What is this?
One more sub will be coming on here for Tucson. I know that. And I don't know who the player is down on the far side. It looks like he's maybe cramping.
A little bit of a humid evening here. More than most nights in the Duke City.
Yeah. And so you see this stretching out a little bit. You know, like our director Josh always tells us, you have to stay hydrated, plenty of water.
Josh Brown is the king of hydration. Our great director tonight, Josh Luna. On graphics and instant replay, I'd like to thank Christian Molina, Ron Molina, and Jude Apodaca, our camera crew. Best crew there is. These guys get it done every night.
And I think that's Adrian Mora that was cramping, I believe.
So it
Sub
looks
hasn't
like,
come on yet for Tucson, but he's waiting.
well, Sebastian, it looks like Berumen's going to be taking a free kick, or a free kick should be taken because Berumen chased it down and was fouled, and so not a corner, but that's actually a free kick. Almost like a corner.
So Herrera is coming off here for
Kevin Blackwood will make his way in. And this curled in, back post. Blackman got a piece, and it was deflected out by the Soul, so a corner. It's almost like the Soul are willing to take the point tonight, Sebastian, and take a draw.
Said, yeah.
It wouldn't be the worst, but truthfully, they need some wins.
But I wouldn't be surprised if Tucson tested Baloo all the way to the final whistle, because they're not going to be happy with this tie at all. Another sub coming here. So this is the moment you've been waiting for, Adam. Schmidt comes off here, and one more sub coming on here.
So that's Nick Hargindagai.
Okay, so you saw that guy go out, right? 7-1. 24.
So Hargindagai will step in for the first time. I know you've been waiting to say that. I did it for you, though. You don't have to do it.
That's why they pay you the big bucks, Adam.
Naturally. Perez cuts on the right foot. I don't know how Perez was able to make something of that and head it on, but Baloo again is there. Man of the match, undoubtedly. I would agree with you. I mean, some brilliance from Sam Gleadle today. He was great.
I think you see a jersey coming off there, so that's got to be Pavlet switching from his keeper jersey to his other jersey, I think. So I would imagine that Tyler will be the next man on here. He usually wears 12 when he comes on as a regular position player.
Jack of all trades, if you could keep and then get on as a field player as well.
You know, that'd be a nice story. The Arizona kid comes on late. Pavlet slots home the game winner, maybe?
Against Tucson, yeah.
Yeah.
Good job by Carranza to switch it. Polster still has it to the outside. And this is going to be sent in. That is a dangerous ball just over the head of Blackwood. Another ball in. I mean, these balls are just being played all over the place by FC Tucson. And the Soul, they look fatigued right now. They look tired.
Yeah, they haven't really been able to relieve the pressure on this side of the pitch at all. It's been an all-out assault on this half of the pitch for Tucson. And, I mean, you look at the defenders, and they're gassed.
22's going out. 24 is coming in for Albuquerque.
Tom Paul. We thought it was Pavlet, but it's Tom Paul coming on for Clancy.
Number 24, Tom Paul. Subbing out, number 22, Jack Clancy. Soul fans, let's let Jack hear our appreciation.
So Tom Paul makes his way on.
I don't remember a Soul broadcast I've done here at UNM where Clancy hasn't scored, Adam.
Scott is going to be over the back there, so a free kick coming. I would agree. Yeah, Jack Clancy's always finding the net, isn't he? Especially here at UNM.
We were both here for that great volley last year that was on a PDL plays of the year list. And then I was here this year when he had another volley.
Why not
earlier
have a
in the
go at
season.
this one? If you place this in front of the PK spot With that wet grass, it could be dangerous for Barranza. Let's see what they do. They're going to chip it in. Scott was true, the center back, and he does so well with it.
I think Nino was fancying a run on the other side of that.
Here's a counter piece. Carranza's going to go forward. Pinero. Polster going to swing it. Another build. There's 6 jerseys in that box for FC Tucson, and maybe a counter coming for the Sol. Cut back. It's well done. In the 88th minute, out forward to Tommy Ramos. Can he catch it? No.
And they just didn't have any numbers committed to that counter.
I wouldn't imagine more than 3 minutes added on to the end here. What do you think?
Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure. There's been a lot of subs, that's for sure. But yeah, other than that, there really hasn't been any stoppage.
Coming down to the wire.
And if you're the Sol, as little stoppage time as possible, I'm sure.
Look at that by Dylan Nino. Able to shield it out of bounds from Pinero and secure a goal kick.
Brought to you by Rucoy Cookies.
We urge you to stick around. We'll have post game with Isabel Gonzalez and the player of the game. We're glad you could join us, though, tonight here on My 50 TV. A special presentation of the Albuquerque Sol as they're tied up with FC Tucson right now, 2 apiece.
Like, I know I mentioned it earlier, but if you follow at ABQ Sol FC, which is their Twitter handle, Lucas usually links Isabel's player profiles, and she's had some great player profiles this year.
Chipped out in front, Ramos, Barranza, and he was dangerous for that being a handball and almost outside of the box. Man, he plays it pretty tight there, doesn't he?
Yeah, that was dangerous.
Pacheco was beat, and that was taken away just for a moment by Diego Montes. Diego Montes has checked in, but he hasn't had a lot of touches. This, again, Blue has to come off his line, and Blue does his job. It's going to go forward. Montes all the way to the corner. Can he catch it? Yes, he can. He keeps it in play, and maybe a chance here. Top of the 18, no. Last moment heroics in the 90th minute. DuPont. It's the most possession we've seen the Sol have in this half. That's not a joke.
Yeah, I mean, the ball just hasn't been on this side of the pitch.
A throw in now.
It was actually it was a really good first touch there at the top of the box, but Kalem Scott defending some of those fresh legs that Larry Espinosa was talking about. The defender, he's fresh, and he was up for the task.
Look at this. 18 on the right foot. Well, that would have been magical by Tommy Ramos if he could have found the net. See it again. Ramos doesn't get over it enough.
2 minutes of stoppage.
Sails it high, so 2 minutes of stoppage time as we've eclipsed 90 minutes here.
A little surprised at just the 2 minutes with about 7 or 8 substitutions.
This click to the outside, watch out. Nice and low, and Blue, he's not going to let that go. Undoubtedly, the Sol looking for a draw now. Look at this, sent all the way. Ramos tripped up a little bit. Incidental. Barranza will take over. Barranza to the outside. Carranza will get it back. I'll tell you what, Perez has had a wonderful game, hasn't he? Moshi Perez. The middle, the heart of this team. You would say probably besides Tate Smith.
Yeah, he leads the team with 7 goals. He's trying to break that record.
Crowds on their feet. Can there be some magic here? A little scissors. A cut. Dish on the inside was deflected. Now at the 18. Curling one. Barraza, no problem. Didn't have to move. Last moments here, Sebastian.
And you have to, if you're Coach Gordon, you have to be pretty happy with considering just how much of this second half was played on this half of the pitch, the offensive side for Tucson.
Polster.
You have to be happy that as of now, the go-ahead goal hasn't been conceded.
That's a throw-in for the Soul.
So the Soul will throw it in. I'll tell you what, I think that's it. And that is full-time here in the Duke City. The Albuquerque Soul 2. FC Tucson 2. A draw. I think, you know, the Soul definitely had their opportunities, but I think they're going to take the draw by what you just mentioned. I mean, the ball was on their half of the field the entire time, and FC was knocking on the door.
That's a team that has had the Soul's number, and you'll take the point with the draw here. And yeah, I mean, I would say 80% possession on that half of the pitch in the second half alone. I think Tucson's going to be a lot more disappointed with this result than Albuquerque.
Back in a moment, we'll have player interviews with Isabel Gonzalez and highlights in just a moment. 2-2 a draw here on My 50 TV.
Summertime in New Mexico, it's a beautiful time of year. But when storms start building up, threatening your plans, we want you to be prepared. That's why we'll let you know early on what to expect with an accurate hour-by-hour forecast to plan your day. Get severe weather alerts sent straight to your phone app, online, and on air. Wherever you gather with family and friends this summer, tune in, tap open, and take us along. KRQE News 13, local weather reporting you can trust.
Legendary New Mexico, in partnership with TLC Plumbing and Utility.
Mid-century America was ripe with opportunity and discovery. As Americans moved west to find new opportunities and lives for themselves, one highway in particular became more than just an artery from the Midwest to the Pacific coast. It became a symbol of American independence and American style.
It's called the Mother Road. More than 2,400 miles of pavement linking the Windy City to the Gold Coast of America. And while today Route 66 is primarily a corridor for the adventurous and nostalgic, its birth was based in practicality.
It all started in 1916 with the Federal Aid Roads Act that was introduced in order to take a series of cobbled together trails.
Well, back at it. Glad you could join us. Adam Dale, Sebastian Noel on My 50 TV. 2-2 a draw. We thought he'd be player of the game. Jason Ballou. Well, Isabel Gonzalez is with him. Let's send it down to Isabel. Isabel.
Jason, so Tucson's a really good team, obviously. You guys had a 3-1 loss last game, but right now you guys had a 2-2 tie. What does this result mean for you?
FC Tucson, like you said, is a really good team in this league. They have really good players, and hard. We got 2 goals against them, and the defense was very solid. Good result.
And Tucson right now is on top of the conference, but you guys have a few more games left for different teams. How do you move forward from this, and instead of getting ties, maybe get a little bit more better result?
Yeah. It's going to be another rematch, 3 in a row. It's I think it's the only league where you play the same team three times in a row, which is weird, but we're going to go there and fight at their place again and get a result again. Hopefully, we're going to fight for it. Pretty much set for the play. Their way went up on the season. Like we're going to get as many points as we can, especially at home in front of our fans. We got a great crowd tonight. A lot of people got. So we see Albuquerque is a soccer town, and that they appreciate when we fight on the field.
Thank you, Jason.
Appreciate it, Isabel Gonzalez. Well, Jason Ballou, and well, I mean, undoubtedly he was fantastic. A little crackly on the mic there. We do apologize for that, but always doing a good job, Isabel Gonzalez. And we talked about it. You talked about it, Sebastian. He was the player of the match. On both sides, it doesn't matter. This is a Soul broadcast. We're going to be biased towards the Albuquerque Soul, but on both sides, he was the best player.
And you see, the first guy to meet him with that congratulatory handshake was Lobo coach Jeremy Fishbein, because Jason got tested today. He's definitely my man of the match, and he kind of spoke to how good of a side this was on the other side in Tucson. And he spoke to having faced them 3 times, and they'll have a 4th meeting coming up. But yeah, I mean, just shot after shot after shot, especially in the second half. It was an all-out assault as you take a look at some of these replays, Adam.
Yeah, this is the highlights of the game, and that's the 10th minute. What a gorgeous goal that was. Sam Gladel A curl on the outside of the right foot. Then there's the equalizer. 5 minutes later in the 15th, Tate Smith can't miss from there. Free kick in the 51st. Jack Clancy. That's gorgeous, isn't it? Barraza had no chance. 2-1. And then, of course, again, moments later in the 59th minute, cross comes in. It's headed away to Misiano. And Perez takes one on goal. The deflection by Baluk was given up. Not much he could do there, as skating through for an easy one was Nico Solabarita to tie it. And so there you go, 2-2. That one is where we're at. So what are your final thoughts here, Sebastian?
Well, again, if you're Coach Gordon, you have to be happy getting out of here with a point, especially in that second half. It was an all-out assault on Baluk's goal. Possession was all on that half of the pitch. So for his team to get out of here with a draw, I think Coach Gordon has to be pretty pleased with that.
All right, so we're glad that you joined us tonight here at ProView Sports Network on a special presentation on My 50 TV. I'd like to thank the entire crew on graphics and instant replay. John Sluta directing tonight, Josh Brown, our camera crew, Judah Apodaca, Christian, and Ron Molina. For Sebastian Noel, I'm Adam Deal. And also for the third member of our broadcast crew, Isabel Gonzalez, saying so long. Glad you could join us. Join us on ProView Sports Network, Comcast 26 for all the highlights and all the fun. New Mexico's first and only 24/7 all broadcasting sports network. We'll see you later.